Live. What's going on, everyone? Thank you all so much for tuning in at this time. Everybody that's here, greatly appreciate it. Anybody watching this on the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Literally shaking, man. That game was so... I mean, it was a great game, in all honesty. It really was. It was a really good game. I'm glad that the Lakers were the team that came out ahead in that game. I'm glad that the Lakers were the team that didn't lose that game because, man, you up 17... You're up 13. You give up, what was it, like, get outscored by 14 there on that run. It was just, I mean, Lakers had an 18-0 run at one point. Like, this was looking like a game where it was like, okay, Lakers finally showed up, right? Playing a very good Pacers team that has been hot right now, that is doing some damage, right? They're on a 5-game win streak. They're at home. Lakers are on a losing streak, right? This just, going into this game was a recipe for disaster. Right, this was a game that was one of those games where you're just like, all right, come on, you cannot fumble this game. And Lakers came out. I liked the intensity. I liked the effort. I thought the energy was there. I thought a lot of things, I thought a lot of the things you wanted to see from the Lakers early on was there. That third quarters are still just brutal for us, right? Like, got to do a better job closing quarters and winning the third. For whatever reason, Lakers just love to just fall apart in third quarters, right? That's something that, I mean, that's happened for years, right? Like, this isn't like just this year. Literally, last like 3-4 years, it's just been an issue that the Lakers have had. It's just like the effort isn't there when you need it coming out of the half. It just, this was a good game, right? Both of these teams are playing for something. Both of these teams absolutely needed this win. Both of these teams were actively trying to get this win. Anyone else feel like this was a playoff level game, right? Like, they let them go physical, right? This was a very physicality game. I felt like both sides were playing about as good of a game as you could have. Both guys had some struggles, had some issues here and there, but for the most part, I thought that they did an excellent job. I thought you saw everybody kind of shine in this game, right? Like, Luka had some amazing stretches. Reaves even had some amazing stretches. Something to pause on Reaves for a second. He was very aggressive, particularly early on in this game. That's the Reaves that I keep talking about that we need, right? My concern is, can he do that game in and game out, night in and night out on the court with Luka and LeBron? I thought in the first half in particular, the ball was moving better, right? Guys weren't as stagnant. It wasn't, Luka, heavily ball dominant, right? Obviously, Luka, that's his game, right? And, Luka, when he's cooking, you want to put the ball in his hands. You want to let him go to work. But you need to be able to get other guys involved, get other guys cooking. And you saw like Rui Hachimura. Dorian Finney-Smith made a video on AIS The Lakers Show talking about Dorian Finney-Smith and how good he's been shooting the basketball. He continues to shoot the ball very well, right? I thought that this was a team effort, right? Your three guys all kind of had their moments. Luka was cooking early. Reaves had, the second quarter, I think it was, where he had 15, I think, in the second quarter. And then, LeBron having one of the worst shooting games he could possibly have, right? Which you understand, he's coming back from injuries, trying to get into a rhythm. I mean, LeBron said himself, it's easier to, defensively to get into a rhythm than it is offensively. And LeBron was, great defensively. Also, not only did he hit the game winner, which we'll get into here in a second, he also made an excellent decision on the trap on, I believe it was Mathurin, who had the ball when the Lakers were down 1, right? He came over right at time, and it had affected Mathurin's shot. He had to kind of, dart it rather than get the good shot off, which was another. So LeBron helped and had a great defensive play and followed that up with an excellent tip-in, right? Because, I mean, in all honesty, Luka should have made that, right? You have that sequence, which, I mean, Lakers should have never been in that position, but they were, right? Usually the first win after a losing streak is usually the hardest. You see it all the time with teams. But Luka had that shot. I mean, that was point blank. It was right there. You got to make that, right? But GOAT James gets the tip in, and I mean, by the hair of his chinny chin, right? I mean, it went through the net as the clock expired. There was like, when they showed the replay, there was like 0.1 left when it like left his hand, right? There was like 0.5 or whatever when he tipped it, and then it was like 0.1 when he actually got it through the net. So, I mean, that was an amazing tip in, and LeBron really came alive in the fourth, right? He had his struggles, but hey, it's time to get in gear. Like I got to step up, and LeBron did, right? Hitting shots, being aggressive, getting to the basket. You knew LeBron wasn't going to have 3 points, like we all did. Like, I don't think anybody was like, oh yeah, LeBron's going to finish this game with 3 points. Like, no, you knew LeBron was going to pick it up, and he did, and he was great, and really, I mean, he kept this. Luka, Reaves kept us in early. LeBron kept us in and closed it in late, and he finished with 13 points, right? Counting that tip in, and he had 3 offensive rebounds. And that's the thing, right? Like, but that's why you have Luka and you have Reaves and you have these guys. So when LeBron is having his struggles, right, you have Luka and Reaves to pick up the slack offensively, right? If Luka's having a bad night, you have LeBron and Reaves to pick up the slack. If Reaves is having a bad night, you have Luka and LeBron to pick up the slack, right? Like, that's the beauty of having those 3. But also, when you're getting the other role guys involved and you're getting them engaged, kept Jackson Hayes engaged, right? He got 6 attempts. Rui, was 4 or 5 from the floor, 4 or 4 from 3, which, by the way, can we give it up for Rui too? Because Rui he didn't just hit 4 threes. 2 of those threes were massive threes. I mean, clutch threes, right when we needed it. Like, LeBron's going to get the praise. LeBron's going to get the love. Because rightfully so. I mean, the dude literally saved the Lakers. That's why I titled it the way that I did. Let LeBron save the Lakers. But Rui hit some huge shots down the stretch. So did Luka. Luka had that 5-point rally where he hit the 3 and then got the drive. So hit some tough shots, but LeBron deserves the most praise. Obviously defensively, we still have work to do. Still have a lot of just question marks, particularly with Rui, right? Luka, they kept targeting him. He had a couple nice defensive sequences, but more often than not, he's having his struggles, right? So no, they're going to have to figure out and manage that. It's just that it's my concern when you have Luka, Reaves, and Rui in your starting lineup, right? With Hayes as your rim protector. It's tough, right? Because, you have essentially 3 guys that move like they're stuck in cement at times. And then your rim protector is Jackson Hayes. It's still a concern that I have come the playoffs, right? Lakers are going to have to, Lakers are going to have to manage that. They're going to have to figure some stuff out and do what they're supposed to do. But this was a great game, right? Removing my Laker bias for a moment, right? This was a very good basketball game. This was enjoyable. It was heart pounding. I mean, I was literally shaking after the game because I was just like, no, yeah, oh, yeah, yes, right? Like, just the roller coaster of emotions going through that fourth quarter. And like I said, you had 2 teams that desperately needed this win. You had one team in the Pacers that were very hot at home, coming off 5-game win streak, that have had a lot of success recently. And now for the Lakers to come in, get that win after a string of just bad losses. The Bucks loss, they sat everybody. You can justify that, but the Bulls and the Magic loss was just bad. Thing is that Indiana did the same thing that those 2 teams did. Lakers did a better job early on managing that, but a lot of the reasons they were able to come back and get into the game was because of turnovers, Indiana pushing the pace, right? Like playing an inside game. Lakers did a better job of rotating and getting out to shooters and stuff and affecting shots. But it also helped that Indiana didn't shoot, 46% from 3. What did they finish at? Indiana, they shot 36 threes. They were 41%. That was actually better than I thought they were. But on 36%. So they actually were. So they did play the same way. Lakers just did a better job of adjustments and stuff like that. But anyway, let's get into the box scores real quick, and then I'll jump into all the super chat questions, all the regular chat questions. So send those in, keep sending your comments in, and then I will jump into that here in a moment. But let's start with LeBron. LeBron James, like I said, had about as poor of a shooting night as you could possibly have. He ended up finishing 4-12, but he started off 0-6. He was 0-3 from three, and then just got aggressive, got to his spots. I got to the foul line a couple times, which I think kind of helped him get the flow. But you saw, right, like you knew, right, like fourth quarter's coming, just got to stay the course, right? LeBron will show up when you need him, and he did. Huge. And I love that he dominated in other ways. He had 13 rebounds, 7 assists, right? Was very active defensively, really set the tone for the Lakers defensively in a lot of ways. And then also, again, just running that action with him where he's just kind of, at the top of the key, just slicing Indiana's defense. I thought he was still very impactful in this game. And then going from the top, Rui Hachimura, like I said, hit some huge shots. Did he have, the greatest game ever? No, but he was big when we needed him to be big. 4 or 5 from the floor, 4 or 4 from 3-point range. I do think Rui Hachimura definitely deserves some love. Like I said, LeBron's going to get the credit, which rightfully so. He saved the day. But Rui hit some huge shots down the stretch that we're going to need him to continue to shoot, need him to continue to hit, right? He just came back from injury too and missed more time than LeBron, right? So, he's got to get in his offensive rhythm, and hopefully this was a good sign for that. Jackson Hayes was 6-6. It's just lob city with him, essentially 13 points. Rebounding, I still, again, is my concern, right? He's had his last 3 games, he's been averaging 4, and then in this game he had 2. Got to do better than 2 to 4 rebounds a game, but he's there for the energy, the effort. Reaves, like I said, was cooking early. 3-point range, he was not great. He was 1 of 8 from 3-point range, and I felt started to settle towards the end of the game, which again, I don't like when Austin Reaves settled. He was torching the Indiana Pacers. Like, Indiana had no answer for him, and he's just cooking them, and then just started settling and just taking threes, and it's like, dude. Like, I don't know if he got gassed. I don't know what it was, but it was just like, come on, man. Like, this is a game where he should have had 30, right? If half of his attempts from 3 were 2s, he gets you 30, right? Like, so this was a game that I wanted to see him continue to be aggressive. I felt like he started the game incredibly aggressive. And look, he was great, right? Like I said, him and Luka were a big part of the offense early on. So it was great for Reaves, and Reaves has been much better, but it's, again, a concern that I have with LeBron and Luka on the court, him kind of being too passive at times or just settling at times, right? Especially if your shot's not falling. It's fine if your shot's not falling, especially when you just proved you can torch these guys and get to your spots and do whatever you want. Want to see him continue to be aggressive, but he was good. He was great, right? He was 24 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. He had a steal. Defensively, obviously still concerning, but thought he was great. Luka, 11-21, 6-10 from 3-point range. He was cooking and firing on all cylinders, especially early on. Missed a couple gimmies. Obviously missed the shot that should have been the game winner, because that was a bunny. That was right there. You got to hit that, right? Luckily, LeBron was right there, boxed out, and got the tip in. But no, Luka also hit some clutch shots. Went on a 5-game win streak a 5-game scoring run by himself after Indiana took that 3-point lead. Luka hit the 3 to tie it, and then the 2 to take the lead. So he was very impactful. 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 turnovers. Right, Lakers did a better job of taking care of the basketball. Reaves had 4, Luka had 3, but now I can live with that. Dorian Finney-Smith continues to shoot the ball well, something that I've talked about very heavily recently. 4-7, 3 of 5 from 3, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, a block, 11 points. Jordan Goodwin only played 7 minutes. This is also his final game, by the way. So Lakers are going to have to make a decision on if they're going to bring him on. I imagine that probably comes tomorrow. But 1 of 4 from the field, didn't shoot the ball well, but in 7 minutes had 2 rebounds, and both were offensive rebounds, 2 points. Gabe Vincent didn't shoot the ball excellent. I mean, he was 40%, 2 of 5, but 2 of 6 overall. Jared Vanderbilt gave you, in 16 minutes, 6 rebounds, including 2 offensive. He got into foul trouble early on. That was a problem. And then Dalton Connect continues to keep his 3 streak alive. But, again, overall, I like the game. Much better effort from the Lakers. Did a better job. They did a better job than they have the last few games. 14 turnovers still isn't going to cut it, they need to do a better job with the turnover range. 26 assists. I would still like a little more, closer to 30 range. But I did think that they moved the ball much better this game. So I will gladly take it. Great game from the Lakers, and just a great game overall. But let's get into all the super chats, all the regular questions, things like that. Real quick, if you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into it. Joe, starting us off with the $20 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. What an insane game. Wow, seriously. I was talking about it earlier. This was a very good game. I even said earlier, did anyone else feel that this was a playoff game? The environment both teams play, right? The physicality, both teams were allowed to be physical. Both teams were physical. There was a couple sequences on both sides where, a foul probably should have been called and wasn't called. I thought that this was a very solid just game from two teams that really needed to win these games. Lakers had 24 free throws on the night, and the Indiana Pacers had 19 free throws on the night. So this was, again, this wasn't one of those like, oh, it was 40 free throws either way, right? This was again, good, hard-fought game. LeBron literally saved us from one of the most devastating losses of all time. This would have been a bad loss. Up 17, up 13 was in the fourth. I think, it was up 13 in the fourth, and then let them go on that run. There were moments in this game where it looked like, okay, here we are. Here's the Lakers, right? Back in action, back in business, playing, a top team. Lakers love to play to their competition. You're playing a team that is, on a 5-game win streak, has been playing excellent basketball this month. It's starting to look like that team that made the conference finals last year, and you ended up handling business and getting it done. Again, LeBron got it done, right? But he came alive in the fourth quarter, was huge for us. But I did like that this was committed, right? Again, Reaves had a couple buckets. LeBron obviously saved the game, but also was huge in the fourth quarter scoring-wise. Really picked it up. He had 4, right? At the end of the third, something like that, 4 or 5. But he had like 9, I think, in the fourth, somewhere around there. And then Luka hit some big shots, right? This is what you want to see, right? I was okay with them not calling timeout. 10, 11 seconds left, right? You have Luka and LeBron. Don't give them time to set. Have them scramble. Trust your stars to get it done, and they did, right? Luka, again, should have made that shot. That was, again, a gimme. That was right there. You got to hit that shot. But even though he didn't hit that shot, LeBron was right there to box out. They're distracted with Luka. Luka was able to get it at least on the rim. It wasn't like some botch shot or anything like that. And we were able to pull out the win. So I'll take it. But thank you, Joe. I really do appreciate the super chat. And I'm glad we got that win because we needed it. We needed that badly. And the thing is, we play again tomorrow. So strap in, ladies and gentlemen. But diving into the regular chat, LeBron's the GOAT. Stephen A. Smith, the fraud, dude. I did. Also, did you like his interview today? LeBron's interview. I saw his interview. Stephen A. Smith had to talk about it too. He had a follow-up. I don't know. I've been debating if I should talk about it or not. I don't know if I want to I don't want to get too much into the drama. I made the point and made a video about it, when it first started. I don't know if I want to keep talking about it. Let them duke it out. But, because this isn't a drama channel, right? I want to keep it basketball. But I do have that new channel, so maybe I'll talk about it on the new channel. See, that might be a new video. Maybe I'll talk about it tomorrow in a video. Stay tuned. Actually, I should probably self-promote here a little bit while I have a chance. But, in general, the whole Stephen A., just to kind of touch on it here real quick, the whole Stephen A. and, LeBron situation, Stephen A., in my opinion, continues to miss the point, right? And he's never going to see the point because he wants to be right. And I just think he's just, this is what he does, right? This is what he's built a career on, right? That attention. So, I don't want to keep giving it to him, but like I said, just posted a link to a new channel that I started. It's a personal channel talking about random stuff. I'll give a little glimpse into my life, just kind of things that I want to talk about. Let you guys also, give insight on things that you want me to talk about. Hey, Tyler, give your opinion on this, that, and the other. When you get a chance, click that link, go over there, watch that video, subscribe to the channel. I'm close to 1,000 subs, so subscribe to that new channel. I'll promote it again later. I just don't want to promote it too much. Just want to talk about it. New, like, personal channel. I'm not going to post every day, just kind of, when I feel like it type thing, or if there's something important to talk about. So maybe I'll talk about the Stephen A stuff on that channel. Finally, we get a game winner go our way. Seriously, facts. Good old LeBron, old GOAT James. Yep. I was also kind of worried about LeBron's 10 or more point streak as it stands. I wasn't. Like, I didn't think he would finish with 3 points or 5 points or anything like that. I figured he'd get at least 10, 11 going into in the fourth quarter, which he did. He finished 13. It was a rough game for him shooting the basketball, but again, he just got back from injury. Give him some time. GOAT James, LeBron, oh my God, this is why nobody will ever touch greatness. Game time, it's only up from here. Yeah, thanks, GOAT James. Wow, yes, I'm right there with all of you. Right there with all of you. It was an incredible game. Are there any upcoming free agents that you think we should look out for this summer? I mean, sure. The problem is we won't know who's actually going to be a free agent because the new CBA, you get to negotiate early in free agency. You saw it this past offseason where a bunch of guys got signed new contracts before. Question is, like, who actually is available in the offseason? I haven't really dove in and, like, really analyzed who's available and who makes sense and stuff for the offseason. I know I'm like Mr. Trade guy, Mr. Sign this guy, sign that guy. But also, I only do it when it's appropriate, like the offseason trade deadline, right? So I just haven't done it yet because we're not there yet. Once I get there, then I'll actually start breaking down players, trades, all that stuff. I think most of the changes are going to come via signing or via trade. But I could see a couple nice signings. If you can find a way to get Quentin Grimes, I think you do it. He might be out of our price range. Same thing with Naz Reid. I love Naz Reid, but he might be a little bit out of our price range. Do Lakers have 44 wins or 45 wins? I think they have 44, no? Let's see. I'm on NBA. Let's find out. I thought they had 44 wins. Yeah, they have 44 wins. They're 44 and 28 is what the Lakers are. So yeah, Denver. Oh, I guess maybe they have 45 wins because they won today. Oh no, it counted the win streak. It says, one game. So yeah, they're 44 and 28. So Lakers have 44 wins. LeBron James. Yes, he was fantastic. It was a good game to watch, but man, we need an easy game before our back-to-backs. Yeah, I know. It would have been nice if this was when we were up 17, we kind of handled business and got it done, but what are you going to do, right? Like, I mean, again, you're playing an Indiana team that's good, that's been very good. You knew that they were going to show up. You knew that they weren't going to lay down. You knew that this was going to be a hard-fought game. We play Chicago again, who blitzed us last time. Got to handle business this time, right? Cannot mess around this time. So hopefully Lakers are ready for that game tomorrow because we just can't finally win a game and then follow that up with a loss, right? We just can't afford it. Yes, love it. Luka's defense, inexcusable in the last 2 to 3 minutes. I got bone blight every possession. Yeah, that's going to be an issue the Lakers are going to have to manage. Teams are going to target him. Teams are going to target, him and Reaves, Rui at times when Rui's on the court. They're going to have to navigate that. Great team win. This will give them momentum and motivation to whip the Bulls. I am right there with you, Sammy. Right? You stole a game that, I mean, I don't know if you should call this game a stolen game because the Lakers should have won this game. They're up 17. But a game that looked very bleak, right? And usually that first win, I mentioned earlier, is usually the hardest. First win is usually the toughest. So I'm glad they were able to get it. You were pulling your hair out as Stads. Yeah, the little hair that I have. But yeah, 100%, man. That was brutal. LeBron, yes, he was fantastic this game. Let's see. Great buzzer beater by Bron, but he sold my ticket with 13 points. Oh, that's always tough. It's always tough. Luka getting hunted on defense is not fun. Yeah, which is going to continue, especially come playoff time. 44. Yeah, they have 44 wins. Correct. Let's see. I want to know where that secret dude is. Damn, my hair is still on fire. I feel that. I thought we were gonna let this game slip through our fingers. It was looking like it. It was really looking like it. All right, yeah, and I genuinely thought so too. I was like, this. We're really about to lose this game, and then, good old LeBron James. Good old LeBron James. Let's see. Luka is such a cone. Let my ass off. He almost sold that game. I mean, it wasn't all on him, but yes, Luka's defense is not great. Luka's defense is inexcusable in the fourth. He was arguably the biggest reason we almost lost 4 straight possessions, getting scored on easily. Luka never helps. I'm talking about the man on the Lakers, LeBron freaking James. People said he needs to retire. Where are they now? Let's go, baby. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Absolutely. Where's the help, Luka? The help defense? Yeah, it needs to do a better job trapping. Problem is he can't get back. Right? He doesn't have the quickness to get back. So if he traps, somebody's got to rotate. He scored his first game winner as like cool. Was that really his first game winner? I know he has like a streak where I think he's had another game winner with the Lakers. I thought he was like 2 and like 30 or something like that. I know the stat is like crazy, right? Like his like shots within, to tie or take the lead have been like atrocious since he's been on the Lakers. Tyler, LeBron never gets scored on. Am I the only one that sees this? I feel like I'm losing my mind. Luka's defense straight up detrimental. Yeah, I mean, Luka's defense is definitely a problem, without a doubt. It's something that they're going to have to manage. It's something that they're going to have to, navigate, figure out. It's what Dallas had to figure out, right? You just have to, team defend, right? Problem is we don't have that rim protector. That's the concern. Like Luka's defense wouldn't be as bad if you had a legit rim protector, right? Somebody that could man the middle. But yeah, I mean, LeBron James' defense has been fantastic this year. He's been bought in, locked in, engaged. This was definitely a playoff feeling game. Yeah, okay. So I wasn't alone in that because, man, I really felt like this was that. Luka, AR, and Bron doesn't work defensively. I mean, LeBron's been good. He was very good defensively this game. Luka and AR is the concern, which is why I've talked about maybe inserting Jordan Goodwin. That could allow Austin Reaves to be more aggressive. And the reason I like Jordan Goodwin, obviously, is defensive versatility out there, but also he's such a good rebounder. And Luka likes to get going early, right? He likes to take, 9, 10 attempts in the first quarter, right? So to me, I think it'd be nice to have a guy who, can knock down the 3 ball on occasion. He's shooting 42% from 3-point range for the Lakers. But, knock down the occasional 3, but more so can just be a guy that can scrap, do the dirty work, help get us second chance opportunities. I would go with Dorian Finney-Smith. I've talked about it. I think you go Luka, Jordan Goodwin, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. Now you have 3 legit defenders, 3 legit hustle, dirty work guys, or 2 hustle. I guess Jackson Hayes can be that. 3 legit hustle, dirty work guys around Luka. LeBron James isn't really a dirty work guy, but he's a guy that can defend, right? Defend multiple positions, help rebound, do some of the necessary dirty work. And then between Luka and LeBron in the first quarter, though, especially the way Dorian Finney-Smith is shooting the basketball, Jordan Goodwin knocking down the occasional 3, and Jackson Hayes getting 5 lobs in the first quarter every game, you have more than enough offense to start games. And then that way you have Gabe Vincent, Austin Reaves, Jared Vanderbilt, Rui Hachimura, and then probably Alex Len or Trey Jamison if you want like a center. But more likely than not, that'll probably be the other 4 guys. And there's your 9-man rotation for the playoffs, right? Like I think that's how they should go about it. That's just me. Maybe people feel otherwise, but honestly, I think that's how it should go. But appreciate you. Yes, I agree. Reaves needs to hit those open 3s. I mean, he was wide open. You got to knock those down. Turner auditioned you for the Lakers. Tyler, you see what I mean? Reaves and Luka should. I mean, as far as like the defense side of things, yeah, absolutely. look, I said from the moment that they traded, and it's nothing against Reaves. Reaves has been great, right? I want to make that clear. Like Reaves has been fantastic, which is why I don't think that they'll bench him, because it's hard to be like, hey, you've been so good, but we're gonna bench you, right? I just think it's best for the overall rotation and structure of your lineups, right? But we'll see. We'll see if he's able to continue to be aggressive. Tyler, if we lost this, I don't know what I would have done. Up 6 with like a minute left, and then lose the lead. But thank you, LeBron. What's Stephen A. Smith gonna say now? That guy's a cloudy FX. It's wild, absolutely wild. But yeah, man, this would have been a bad loss. I literally got scored on like twice this game. Who got his ass saved by LeBron? Yeah, Siakam had nowhere to go yet. Played good at the 4 yet. Clamping up. LeBron's been very good defensively this year. Very good defensively. 2 more wins and we'll be in eligible at worst. 2 more wins will be play in eligible at worst. Oh, got it. Sorry, I read that. Reading's hard. Let's have it go. 2025 champs. What's going on, Dano? Tyler, you see what I mean? Luka and Reaves should be first and second option. They move the offense better. LeBron can just slot it and stuff when the ball comes to him. I hate seeing us post up every possession. I still think Reaves should come off the bench. I mean, it's hard to justify this game, right? I know it's, you've been making that point. LeBron shot the ball terribly this game, so it's easy to point to this game. I just think in general, right? LeBron was doing an excellent job moving the ball this game, right? I mean, he was slicing and dicing them early, right? I think we need to kind of see a little more. I think Reaves still needs to go to the bench, but I don't mind if you wanted to do something where you're playing Luka and Reaves more because they've had more time on the court together to develop that, and that's something else you got to keep in mind, right? Luka and Reaves had 10 games with just the 2 of them to really work on their chemistry, right? LeBron and Luka haven't really had much time, right? Because Luka missed a bunch of games to start when we traded for him. Then he came in, and then Reaves went down, so then they had to make an adjustment, and then LeBron goes down, and then Luka missed some games in between and all that stuff. So to play defense 40 like that, wow, yeah. Worst shooting game of his career. I don't know if it was he had a really bad one earlier this season too. He had like I think 13 points in that game too. But he had a game where he missed more. He was like 4 for I think 17 or something like that in that game. It was like early in the season, like early. That tip him. Should hand over the offense to them too and focus on being the anchor. I'm assuming anchor in the defense. Well, I mean, that's basically what he did. I mean, LeBron didn't take a ton of shots either. I mean, LeBron kind of just let them go to work. Reaves and Luka were cooking early. So LeBron just kind of let them cook. He was just trying to score his spots, trying to score in bunches like he usually does, right? I thought, LeBron only took 12 shots, right? You had Luka who had his 21, and Reaves had his 16. So, Leo 0.2. Yeah, with the tip in. Rui gave Pacers a 6-0 run when he tried to dunk instead of lay the ball up and got blocked. Yeah, I mean, but that's part of the game. I mean, that Lakers have to play defense. Like, there's a lot of factors. It's not like, that block was the reason Lakers didn't play defense or do anything like that. Rui was huge in this game. Rui saved us as well. Lucky win again. At least you're consistent, Water. I respect it. Let's see. Matt the room is about Cook Reaves if LeBron didn't save him when LeBron got the game win. Yeah. Same here. I was at home alone. People would have called the police because I would have been yelling so loud. My hands are still shaking. Yeah, facts. This game was wild. Yeah, LeBron. Let's see. It's about energy, though. Tyler Reaves defended well after the first quarter. I think our defense feels bad for the fact Dorian Finney-Smith, Vando, all our defenders haven't been on the same level. I mean, energy and effort, you can get away with a lot just solely on energy and effort, right? Like, I mean, there's a lot of teams. I mean, we've seen teams beat the Lakers that shouldn't be beating the Lakers just by out hustling and out energying them, right? Like, so yeah, that's a big part. Guys got to do a better, like in the first half, I thought Lakers did a really good job rotating, defending. They had a couple lapses, don't get me wrong. They had a couple moments where you're like, oh, come on, you got to clean that up. But for the most part, I thought they did a fine job, you know, as far as picking up the energy, the effort, and intensity. Um, as far as like, you know, the lack of, I mean, because they gave up 33 in the first quarter and then cleaned it up and only gave up 22 in the second and gave up they scored an 18-0 run. They outscored them by 18 points, right? Like, first half, you don't do that without playing defense. They only gave up 55 in the first half, but then you give up a 37-point quarter, and then you give up a 27-point quarter, right? Can't do stuff. 27 isn't bad, but when you only score 25, right? That's never good. Bro, I really thought LeBron was going to lose his 10 streak. I didn't think so because I just thought LeBron would just put his head down and get to the basket, 4 times. Although you could argue he was missing a couple, like he missed like 2 point blank layups. Like he had one where he got the fake guy blew by and he was just right there, just missed it. Let's see. What was the concession basket about? Lakers always to make things interesting. Yeah, Lakers love to just, keep us keep us guessing, right? Lakers were up double digits for most of the game. That's not luck. They almost gave the game away. Yeah, this was a game that they nearly gave away. LeBron now 2-33 with the Lakers on last second shots that can tie or win the game. Yeah, I knew it was something crazy like that. Let's see. It's actually not a lot. I mean, I don't know if it's the exact numbers, but it is something crazy like that. Since LeBron's been a Laker, he's been terrible in the clutch. Let's Google it. Let's do it in real time. Like I said, it might not, maybe it might not be 2 and whatever you said, 33, but it's been bad. Like he's not been good in game tying and game take and shots take the lead. LeBron clutch with Lakers. There we go. Don't give me the highlights. I want the. Let's see if this has it. Why isn't it pulling up on StatMuse? No, I don't see it. Darn it. I know it's something crazy like that. I don't want to spend 20 minutes looking at him. I know it's something crazy like that though. So he's not lying. It might not be the exact numbers, but he's saying it's 2-33. I think it's somewhere close to that. Let's see. Like I said, it might not be. I saw you said he hit 2 game winners in the bubble, but like I said, it might not be those exact numbers, 2-33, but it's something crazy. It's like something that you think is insane. But LeBron is still the most clutch player in NBA history. Yeah. Yeah, they did try to lose their best to lose this one. More proof LeBron's the GOAT. We got to figure out what to do for Luka's defense down the stretch. He's a cone, yes. I mean, they got to figure some stuff out, which I imagine they will. Let's see, still too many turnovers. Yeah, 14. I mean, you always want to keep it 10 or below. 14 is not great by any stretch of the imagination, but it's been better. It's a step in the right direction. It's been better than what it has. I would keep Lynn and waive Cam, sign Goodwin, and go with that into the playoffs. I would just only sign Goodwin because Lynn is still a big body that you can throw out there if you need to be physical. That's why I like the idea of Trey Jemison, right? I think Trey Jemison can be worse than Alex Lynn, but Trey Jemison's also just moves better, and he's just like a tank, man. That guy's monster. Alex Lynn at times still gets kind of pushed around. I just think Trey Jemison is just better effort wise and with the little things, right? So personally, I would go with Jemison, but yeah, if they kept that, then they could do that. LeBron is at best top 30. I could understand not calling him the GOAT, right? I get, if you want to say he's not the GOAT or, anything like that, but say at best top 30, right? Like, does that mean he's second? Right? Like, man. Tyler, also Reaves handles ball pressure really well now. He's been better. He still has moments depending on who's guarding him where he has to give the ball up, but he has been, to his credit, much better. Like, it's been night and day. It's really weird though. Like, Austin Reaves early in the season, like the first 30 games or whatever, right? We talked about it. Like his inconsistencies, didn't handle ball pressure well, it was rough. And then he just had that game. I'm trying to remember who it was against. I want to say it was Minnesota. That he just went off and was just really good. And it was just kind of like, is this where Reaves kind of rights the ship? And he just did. Right? Like, to his credit, right? It was just he hit the switch and just, and part of it was Anthony Davis was out, which he's always been better when, Anthony Davis or LeBron are out. And then you had, LeBron out, and then they traded Anthony Davis. And then, so part of it I think has been that. But it's just, it to his credit, he hit this stretch or hit this spot where it's just everything clicked for him and was just money from there on out. He's had bad games here and there, but for the most part, again, he's been consistent, right? My issue has not been a bad game here and there, right? I'm fine. Everyone has bad. I mean, LeBron just had about as bad of a shooting and as bad of a game as you could have, right? Bad games happen. My thing is just 8 out of 10 games. How are you looking, right? Like with Reaves early on, it was he'd have 2 or 3 great games, and then he'd have 2 or 3 bad games. And it was a great game, a bad game, okay game, right? It was just all over the place. You didn't know which Reaves was going to show up. And then he hit that spot, and then it was just it just was just, it's he figured it out. It was a switch hit. Yeah, the Pacers crowd absolutely hate AR Luka. Let's see. Sorry, trying to find something to me. Let's see. Sorry, trying to find something. You got all kinds of debates. We got the Jordan and LeBron debate. We got a Steph debate. I will say water is wet. Really, really keeps it live. I give him credit. He's consistent nonetheless. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying. It's all GOAT debate stuff, which is great. Some of these comments are wild. Here, I'm just that's to John. I thought that was to me. I thought I found one. Dang, I just skipped a chunk, and there's still all GOAT debates. How do you think? There we go. How do you think the playoffs will go? Depending on the matchups, if the Lakers can get a favorable match, at least I think Lakers will bare minimum be in the second round. I think Lakers will win the first round, regardless of the matchup. I just trust LeBron and Luka to at least get that. They'll never be fresher than they are in that game, in that series. From there, I think it depends on the second round matchup. There's not a team in the league that I don't think we can beat, right? But at the same breath, like I've always maintained, I also think that there's most of these teams could beat us too. So I just think it depends on Lakers, the way that they play. The reason I think it really ultimately depends on how the first round looks, because this will be the first playoffs with Luka, LeBron, and Reaves, right? And just JJ Redick and this team, period. So there's probably going to be some figure it out moments. Probably going to be some hiccups. They might lose a game that they might have not have lost, right? Like there's going to be some things, which is why I think the first round is so important to kind of figure things out. And that's why the first round matchup I think is so important to just kind of figure things out. But from there, if they can figure, even if it's not like a finished product, but if they can kind of figure some stuff out and have better balance and kind of what they want to do and have better command, probably a good way to put it, then I think that they bare minimum go to the conference finals. All right. Wouldn't even be surprised if they get. I will say this. I'll put this on video. If the Lakers make it to the NBA finals, they'll win the NBA championship. Because I think LeBron, if he gets to the finals, will look at it and go, I might not ever get another chance, right? This might be my last chance. And do I really want to lose another finals, right? Like, I think if the Lakers make the finals, you'll see LeBron turn the clock back. I really do. I think you'll see that. I said the same thing when the Lakers made the conference finals, that if the Lakers made the finals, I thought that they would win the finals, which I do because they would have played Miami, which I think would have reigned true. I think that they would have beaten Miami in a 7-game series. But I think if the Lakers make it to the NBA, I think if the Lakers make it to the NBA finals, they'll win. I think they either lose in the conference finals or they win the championship. How's our zone defense? Should we mix it up? Would that help Luka? Right now, I wouldn't. And the reason why is because playoffs are tomorrow. Not literally, but it's like right around the corner. I'd rather the Lakers, save the other things because they've played zone, they've played other defensive lineups. I'd rather them kind of keep teams guessing, rather than you show your whole hand right there. Because also, if you start playing zone, teams are going to adjust to the zone as you progress. Where if you just throw it on a team, you're up 2-1 and you throw it on a team, you could end up being 3-1 because they didn't prepare for you to play zone, right? Like those kind of things. The ball gets stagnant too at times. I think we need to put more pressure on opposing defense. The resting standing still. Agree. I did think that they did a much better job this game moving the basketball, right? Like the last few games has been a lot of just isolation from Reaves and Luka, and Luka's taking 10 shots in the first quarter and all that stuff. I thought I thought it was a tale of two halves. I thought the first half, the effort, the energy, the defense, the ball movement, I thought everything was much better in the first half. Second half, I felt like the defense kind of laxed. I felt like you got more isolation heavy. It felt like we kind of lost the vision, right? So just things to clean up, right? That's what these next 10 games or whatever are for, to clean it up. Clean up what you need to clean up, so that way you can get ready for the playoffs, right? Let's see. WSC coming out, $20 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. As it stands, just isn't the same without the purple and gold tiki mask and Audrey Hepper flying saucer. Run them back. Please share their origins. First off, I really do appreciate the super chat. Seriously, thank you. Secondly, I know I get a ton of just slack for it, but I still have like everything packed outside of like a handful of things. We are in the process right now. We already are working with a realtor, looking at houses. All that. So my girl's kind of done more of the house looking because I'm just working and getting things set up and stuff like that. I don't really care. It's kind of happy wife, happy kids, happy life, right? I just work all day. I'm a homebody. My girl loves the house. Obviously, I want some input, but for the most part, she knows what I like. She knows what I'm looking for in a house. So the plan is to get it in the next, within the next month. So hopefully that happens. Hopefully that gets done so I can start setting up. My problem is I just don't want to set everything up. I don't want to put a bunch of like, holes and stuff in this because especially like a Tiki Max, like it doesn't hang, like it's too heavy for like, you have to like actually like hang it or like use a nail or something like that. And like I said, we're kind of in an in-between place. So I don't want to hang up a bunch of stuff and do a bunch of stuff and make a setup and do all this stuff. And then now I gotta, take it all down and patch stuff up, especially this, because this is like wood paneling, right? So like I don't know I don't know what's on the other side of this and stuff. So I don't want to be like messing up other people's walls. So I gotta wait until I get the actual place. I know, believe me, I get comments like regularly, like literally regularly, of like, dude, like you need more background. It's just you, and I get it, but it'll come. Patience, I appreciate it. But as far as origin story, so the Aubrey Hepper poster that I usually have, a buddy of mine, he was actually my neighbor back in Las Vegas. He actually moved to Ohio, and then now I live in Wisconsin, so we actually live closer to each other. So, but he when he was moving, he was like, "Hey, do you want this poster?" And I was kind of like, "Yeah." And at the time, I was actually I don't think I was doing face videos. I think I was just doing like the overlays. And then I was like, I've been wanting to do a setup. I've been wanting to like, be more personable with my face. And so, yeah, he was like, "Hey, if you want it, you can have it." So I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I took that, got that, and then, yeah. And then as far as the tiki mask, my mother actually made that for me. She passed away, what, 6 years ago now, 7 years ago now. And like a year before she passed, she made that for me. So, because she knew I was a diehard Laker guy, diehard Laker fan. So that was like long before, and even through like my moves and everything like that, I've always like kept that. Might have been, yeah, I think probably about 8 years ago that I got that. She just like made it for me for like my birthday or something like that. I think that's what it was. I think it was my birthday. And yeah, so it's just something that holds value to me, right? Things like that are truly valuable. Something that I'll never be able to get back. I can't call my mom and be like, "Hey, can you make me a new tiki mask? Can you make me that?" So it's great to kind of have that. And, have a little piece of her behind me when I'm doing videos and stuff like that. So it's nice. So we'll get that. We'll get all that stuff back up. I promise. Like I said, I just don't want to start messing with a place that we're only going to be in for another couple weeks. We're blessed enough to be in this place until we're able to find that place. So I don't want to have to like start like, "Oh yeah, we also hunt up a bunch of stuff, put a bunch of holes and stuff in your in your wall and stuff like that." So I want to do stuff like that. So but it'll come. I promise. I'll have it there. But back to the chat. I appreciate you. Again, thank you so much for super chat. Seriously. Reaves has improved a lot overall. Yeah, 100%. I mean, been fantastic. What's going on, Chris? Appreciate you. Let's go. You know it, baby. Yeah, LeBron saved the day. LeBron James became the oldest player in NBA history to hit a game-winning buzzer beater tonight. Go James! I feel like that's something that happens every night because he's like the oldest player to ever play. But no, that's great. Let's see. Can we get a video on a non-biased record prediction the rest of the way? Lakers can still make my prediction record. I said the Lakers would win 52 games. That I thought they'd win 52 games. Granted, I didn't think that they would, trade for Luka in the middle of the season. So that kind of changed things. They're 7 games away, and they got 10 left. I don't know if they'll go 7. They'll win bare minimum 48 games. They'll win at least 4 more games. I'm gonna say they go because we have 10 more games. I say they win at least 50. I think they go 50 games minimum. I think they'll go 50. Was that 50 and 32? I think is what they'll go minimum. So you know what I'll do for you, El? I wanted to make a video about the Lakers' last 10 games. So I'll do a video about the last 10 games, and I was gonna make a prediction. So I'll have that in that video for you. So look out for that. Yeah, because Lakers have 10 more games left, right? Yeah, they're at 62. Okay. or 72. Playoffs will depend how active Luka is on defense, because if he looks like a cone, he will get attacked in the final 2 minutes of every game, and we will go home in the conference finals. It's a very real possibility. If LeBron makes it to the finals, he would go absolutely all out, 100%. I wholeheartedly, like with all of my chest, believe that if the Lakers make the finals, I think LeBron goes, all right, like he'll win. I think Lakers win 2 games he wins 2 games just by himself. Right? I think he'll just go off. Because like I said, he might look at it, I might never get another chance. I might never get another opportunity here. You know what I mean? So Chris, all right, man, thank you. I appreciate that. You know, yes, she was a very beautiful woman. So I was, cherish your loved ones. It was a long time ago, but you still have moments where you're like, damn, you miss moms. You're like, man, so cherish it while you got it. Snorlax, yo, Tyler, what a maybe shouldn't have been. Yeah, nail biter, you're not wrong. Luka Doncic is still him, and what a putback by LeBron, 100%. So I'm a nail biter. I know it's a terrible habit. It's awful. Every time I show my hands on camera, people are always like, dude, let the nails chill. Man, yeah, we're not growing them back anytime soon with games like that. Right? Yeah, after that, I was like, damn, like that, I was like, yeah, I'm sitting there just like, like, but yeah, Luka was great. He had it, don't get me wrong, defensively, definitely concerns. But Luka's had 30 in 5 straight games, 4 straight games, something like that. And he's averaging like 27, 28, 27. I think it's 27, 7 or 27, 8, and 9, something like that. So he's been fine. He's been very good for the Lakers. And then of course LeBron James doing LeBron James things. You gotta love it. All right, and then Chris, do this last question, and then I'll skate on out here because I got to the end of the chat. Who's a more favorable matchup in your opinion, Cleveland or Boston? So both teams absolutely give you a tough outing, right? Because Cleveland has better interior size, in my opinion. Like I worry more about Evan Mobley and why am I blanking on his name? Evan Mobley and why am I blanking on his name? It'll come to me. But they're center, right? I worry about them more on the interior than I do Kristaps Porzingis, who likes to play more stretch, and Al Horford even at times likes to play more stretch. I would rather play Cleveland personally, just because Cleveland is their lack of experience, I think, will go a long way. Cleveland at times can Boston, you can argue, falls in love with 3 too much and kind of falls into the trap. But I trust the Lakers in those matchups. I do worry about Darius Garland and why am I Donovan Mitchell. God, I don't know why I keep blanking on these Cavs players. I worry about Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell in these just attacking Reaves and Luka. But I also don't like I don't think that they're going to be able to hold Reaves and Luka, so I like that matchup. They don't really have anybody that can check LeBron. They don't really have anybody that can check Luka. So I do. I'd rather play Cleveland. I think both teams present tough matchups, and both teams, like the team that I'd love to play is the Knicks, right? But Cleveland and Boston, I think, is probably who we'd play if we went to the finals. Cleveland, I don't see LeBron losing to Cleveland. I don't. Right? Boston might be tough, but with our luck, we'll play Boston. Boston is, in my opinion, the least favorable matchup. In my opinion. Who do you think? I'll answer this last one. This is a good question. Who thinks wins the NBA Finals? I still think you got to give it to Boston, right? Obviously I have Laker bias, and it pains me to admit it. But if I'm being honest, right, Boston I still think is the best team in the NBA. And they have the experience now, and they've gotten over the hump. So I still think you got to give it to Boston. Cavs, I still need to see it to believe it, right? Cavs playoffs and regular season are very different things. If the It's like kind of how Boston was, right? Boston was the best team every year, and then they got into the playoffs and then ran into that team and just got smacked. OKC is another great one. I wouldn't rule out. Like, if I was to predict who meets each other in the finals, I think it's OKC and Boston, right? I think that's the safest bet. Those have been the two best teams. I know the Cavs have been the best team outside of OKC, but I trust Boston to beat Cleveland in a 7-game series if that matches up, and then I think OKC. They've been the best team all year. You got to go with them. But yeah, outside of that, yeah, great question. But real quick, want to self-promote here again for a moment. Go watch that video. I just put a link in the chat. Go watch that video for me. Subscribe to that new channel. Maybe I'll talk about the Stephen A. Smith tomorrow on that channel because I had people earlier that wanted me to do that. But outside of that, also subscribe here if you're not subscribed. Like the video on your way out if you haven't liked the video. And we got a game again tomorrow, so we'll be on a live stream again tomorrow. You people are beautiful, and we'll got to get this other win against Chicago. But